Hi, this is Steve Niles, author of Nosferatu Wars, The Immortal 30 Days of Night, Criminal Macabre, and so many other things. And we're here at AwesomeCon, and I wanted to ask you, sir, Criminal Macabre, you just finished the Eyes of Frankenstein series, which I guess is going to trade paperback real soon.
Yeah.
And then before that, you had the 30 Days crossover. Well, I was a little bit before that, the 30 Days crossover.
Yeah.
Which basically oozed awesome. Where is Criminal Macabre going next?
Well, right now, in the current issues, I don't have read, but Cal basically has turned into a monster. He's undead, he has wings, he doesn't know if he's demonic, or he doesn't know what he is. So, in the current series that I'm doing, which is going to be called The Third Child, all of that will come to the head. Honestly, all of this stuff, anybody who's been reading Criminal Macabre for almost 30 years now that I've been doing it, all along he's been talking about this coming monster war. And what we're finding out in these two arcs is that what he thought the war was going to be, he was ready for doors to open and monsters to come running out. It's much more complicated than that. It's more about everybody on Earth confronting the evil within them and whether or not they can get through it. So it's not about monsters coming through the door, it's about the entire population turning into a monster.
My next question is about the Frankenstein Alive series that you've done with. What is it like working? You're at the very newest, and Bernie Wrightson, he's legendary.
Well, that's, actually the whole story with Bernie has been very odd, because I'm obviously a huge fan. I mean, I've known him since a little kid, and when I got a chance to meet him, I just wanted to be friends. I was so thrilled just to hang out with the guy. I actually made a conscious effort. I'm not going to ask him for work because I know everybody bugs him about that. And then about a year after we hung out, he started going like, so, you want to do some stuff together? And so we did a couple other, a few short series that were really fun, stuff like Dead, She Said, and The Ghoul. Once that was done, Bernie came to me and just said, I want to do more Frankenstein, and I want to do it with you. And I was relatively calm, but inside I was just screaming, because that's... it's Bernie Wrightson, it's Frankenstein. So, it kind of, and then the actual work has been probably the easiest work ever. Bernie and I can talk about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for endless hours. So, so really that's what we're doing, is we sit around and our theories of who the monster is and what's going on are very much the same. So, just making sure she's there.
Okay. Just curious, Chin Music. A lot of people are waiting for that next issue.
Third issue's, my part of the third issue is done. And now Tony's doing his. I don't know if people realize what happened with that series, though. This is one we actually got a good head start on. We were trying to do it, and then I lost my house in a flood when I was in Texas, and Tony came up against his own problems that he had to deal with, and we just weren't able to work for a few years, or for a few months. So it's back on track now. He's got the script for 3. I'm doing, or for 4. 4 is, and then 5 is the final issue, which I'm writing now.
And now 30 Days of Night, it seems like it's over, but there's so much interest in Vampires. You continuing it.
Yeah, well, what I'm waiting for right now, honestly, is the right partner. I always said the only way I'd ever do it again is if I did it with Ben Templesmith, but Ben and I have plans to do new stuff, which I'd much rather do, create new things. But there will be, you read the crossover, Criminal Macabre, so we've lost 2 of our main characters, but that's what's kind of nice about 30 Days of Night. It's about the vampires and the world, it's not about characters. So, no time soon, because I really did a lot, but I'll do more 30 Days someday.
Are there any other projects that you're looking at bringing up?
Well, one just came out. I don't know if you saw this, but this is one I'm very excited about. Breath of Bones, which is a World War II Golem story.
Yes.
And it's been getting a really good response. What I'm working on right now is I found this artist. His name's Damien Worm. He's in his 20s. He's in Spain. I haven't been this excited about finding an artist since Templesmith, honestly. And we just did a series called Monster and Madman that's coming out. There's an exclusive for this convention, actually. It's a Jack the Ripper Frankenstein monster team-up, because historically it works out. Even though one's a fiction and one's actual, but it was fun to do it. So now we're working on a series called The October Faction, and it's going to be my first ongoing. It's going to go on forever, if people buy it, and I've never done that. All I do is short series this, short series that, so this is going to be my ongoing. And what I'm trying to do is, it's about a retired monster hunter and his family. As a guy trying to live a normal life, trying to get away from the horror, But it's kind of a perfect setup because he's got 40 years of enemies searching for him while he's trying to lead a normal life.
Okay, the very broad question here I'm going to finish with. What do you think is the future, not just of horror comics, but of horror, in America?
Wow. That's really hard to say because one thing about horror, and I mean this holds for a lot of other genres, but there's none that is so obvious as horror. It generally reflects our fears. There's no, I think a lot of people are feeling lost right now. A lot of people are lonely. A lot of people, with all the new tech we have, it's still keeping people very much to themselves, and they have a fear of the outside world. They have a fear of others. So zombies are big because they're us, and they're coming for you, and they're going to eat your face off, But that's how we reflect it. So in that way, it's almost impossible to predict the future of horror because it's going to reflect what the world is. If what's going to happen, if what I think is going to happen, polar caps are going to melt, we're all going to be drowning, I think we're going to be actually seeing a lot of nature horror coming up. We're going to see a lot of stuff, there's no, Noah is as much a reflection of our current fears as it is a Bible story. So, it's going to depend. I mean, that's why it's almost impossible to predict because we don't know what we're afraid of yet.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Is that a good? I ended on that.
That's awesome. No, that was great. Thank you so much for talking with us today.